about hiring a business coach, you are probably a little bit excited and a little bit nervous and cautious as well, because with all the fake gurus out there and inexperienced coaches, it can be hard to separate the real from the fake. And today I'm going to give you my hater's guide to hiring the right business coach so that you don't get scammed.
There's no stopping me now. I know my shot. Sit down. Money's all over me. I'm called to be rich and be free.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am Ebony Evaughn, your go-to business operations strategist, here to help you grow your business with people and processes. In today's video, I am giving you your hater's guide to hiring a business coach. Listen, I used to be a business coach for many years, and I decided to transition from coaching into business operations simply because there are a lot of business coaches popping up every single day, and a lot of them give you outdated advice of how to start a business, how to market your business, but no one really teaches you how to effectively manage a business, right? And how to operate your business from day to day. So I transitioned to operational management to kind of fill that void. But today I'm going to be tapping into my business coaching bag and give you guys my best tips for what to avoid when it comes to hiring a business coach, because trust me, not all business coaches are created equally, okay? And if you haven't noticed already, there are a lot of people, particularly business coaches online as well as social media coaches, who don't necessarily practice what they preach and don't have the necessary requirements to really help you to grow your business or to start your business. Now, I know there are going to be a lot of business coaches out there side-eyeing this video. That's why I'm calling it the hater's guide to hiring a business coach, because if they're not true to this, they new to this, and they out here faking for the deals, then you're going to be able to see right through them when you use the tips that I'm going to tell you in this guide, okay? So let's go ahead and jump right in with the first thing that you want to look for when it comes to hiring a business coach. You want to make sure that you avoid hiring a business coach that has a lack of transparency. So when I say a lack of transparency, this is going to translate in a lot of different ways. So number one, if you go to their social media account, you go to their LinkedIn, you go to their website, and the language is really vague about what it is that they do, the process or framework that they use to help you get to your desired results, what actual results they can get you. If it's very vague and cryptic, this is going to be a good sign that their program, their coaching is probably a scam. They don't know what they're talking about. And the reason why they're not transparent with their framework or the process that they're using is because it's probably something they learned from other people, and they're just going to teach you the same thing without any real world experience or expertise in actually helping to start and grow businesses. So if there's a lack of transparency, this is going to be your first red flag that this might not be a legit business coach and a coach for you. In addition, when it comes to transparency, a common practice that a lot of business coaches will use is they don't have any pricing on their website or anywhere public facing. And in order for you to know how much it's going to cost you to work with them as your business coach, you have to book like a discovery call or a consultation. And then only on that call will they let you know how much it costs. And typically, when coaches rely on this type of tactic, it is because they don't offer real value. And we'll talk more about that in a second. But they want to get you in a session to where it's just you and them one-on-one, and then it's typically a high pressure sales call, and then you make an impulse decision to join their program or to work with them without really being given the time to think about the transaction that you're about to do, the relationship that you're going to enter into. And so because of that, a lot of business coaches who are inexperienced or manipulative, they will use this tactic to strong arm people into working with them. So if you can get transparent information from them through their website, their public facing online presence, then that's going to be a good indicator that this is a coach that you want to avoid. In addition to this, even if you get on a discovery call with a potential business coach and you're asking them questions about their framework or the methods that they use to help you achieve your results, and they're very vague and they just focus on like, oh, I'm going to teach you how to get financial freedom, I'm going to teach you how to scale your business to 6 figures or 7 figures, but they can't give you a clear path of how you're going to do that, that is going to be a red flag. Okay, so let's jump into the next thing that you want to avoid when it comes to hiring a business coach. And this is going to be those coaches who are over promising results. Okay, and what I mean by this is oftentimes, especially when it comes to Facebook ads, Google ads that you may see, you will see all of these wild claims, which is illegal, by the way. Let's just consult the FTC about that. But you see a lot of wild claims that will say make 7 figures in 30 days, or how to start a business in 7 days and make 10K, 20K, 6 figures a month, right? A lot of these, while some people may have achieved these results in that amount of time, there's typically a lot of, going back to number one, lack of transparency around how they actually achieve these results, either for themselves or for other clients that they may have had in the past. For example, you will see a lot of coaches that will say like how to launch an online course from scratch in 60 days, right? And make $20,000 a month. And while they're saying do this in 60 days, when they actually went through this process themselves, it took them 6 months or a year before they were actually able to create the course and earn 20K in revenue or sales even.
Next, I think it would be very helpful if I shared a couple of posts from the Facebook group. So this lady posted within the exclusive group for Course from Scratch members that can we be honest, has anyone not had any success? I have 2 courses, and obviously she's one course price at $499, one at $399, and she's not had some success. Okay, let's go on to reality. So after this lady published the post, what happened next? Okay, so here's a response that came to that post from Danielle herself. So she responded to that post. And this is quite revealing, because in this she says that obviously not everybody's going to have quick wins and 6-figure launches and make money and secure the bag and butts in seats straight away, which is what obviously Danielle gives the impression that's what's going to happen with all the hype, pre-launch hype. But more revealing than that was the point that here, and I'll read this out. I know it seems like everybody and their mum does 6-figure launches and course sales right out the gate, but it does in fact take repetition. I launched several times before hitting my inflection point and doing my 6-figure launch and growing to 7 figures soon after that. At that point, and this is very significant, at that point I'd done my live webinar every week for 7 months straight. Now, let's take that in for a moment. On the one hand, this course is going to help you quickly pre-sale your own course and make thousands and secure the bag. The reality is, once you're inside the course, Danielle communicates to you that actually that didn't happen for her. She was launching weekly webinars for 7 months before she had any success. Now, if she communicated that beforehand, before you'd paid the $2,000, then that would have been a bit more realistic. But to wait until the money's in, to talk about the money coming in and how quickly the money flows and we can get money in from week 2 and pre-sale, and I mentioned that point in the communications that we received. And then the reality is, Danielle was working really hard for 7 months before she had any success. People who've paid their $2,000 were not told this. They were also not told that the 500 represents only 16.6% of the people that have taken the course. I'll say that again. The 500 testimonials that are communicated very clearly is only 16.66% of the people who've taken the course at the time of making this video. So that's very different, isn't it? That's a very different perspective.
You may hear people making all of these unrealistic claims, and at the end of the day, if it sounds too good to be true, 9 out of 10 times it probably is, okay? if you have a good business coach, they are going to be able to give you a step-by-step framework or plan that is going to help you get to the desired results that is going to be unique to you. Now, let's keep it moving and get into the third thing that you want to avoid when it comes to hiring a business coach, and this is relying on fake or obviously overblown testimonials or case studies. So a lot of coaches have begun using the practice of leveraging case studies or testimonials from clients, maybe real or fake, in order to attract new clients to their coaching business. So when it comes to testimonials, you want to make sure that you proceed with caution, right? Because while testimonials can be a great strategy, a great marketing tactic to use to give people a good idea of what it's like to work with a coach, what potential results you may get. In a lot of cases, these testimonials are often straight out fake. I think I talked about on my channel a few months back, maybe around like December, January, I was actually working with a client that was launching a new course, and she was like, yeah, I made these testimonials up. And I'm like, what? Like, you can't just be out here making up testimonials. Like, if you're going to have testimonials, the purpose is demonstrating this is what's possible when you work with me, right? So you want real results that can be delivered. But even though that is the purpose of testimonials, you have a lot of inauthentic coaches who will have misleading testimonials, outright fake testimonials, or they only highlight testimonials from their best clients that get the best results, right? So obviously, if you're looking at testimonials and the testimonial says, oh, I helped this person build a 6-figure business, I helped this person get to 100K per month in 30 days, those results aren't typically normal. And that just because one client got to those results doesn't mean that that's going to be the outcome for everybody, because everyone's situation is going to be different. Someone could have came to that client and they were already making $99,000 a month. So the fact that they were able to scale up to 100K, obviously that was easy work, right? But if someone is starting from scratch, they're not going to go from 0 to 100K months in 30 days or 60 days or whatever. So you want to make sure that you're being mindful of the testimonials that you're seeing, and you don't rely on those as like, okay, like this is what's going to happen for me. A lot of times those testimonials can be misleading, and I tend to preference video testimonials over just written testimonials, or even testimonials with a picture and a name. There have been instances where people have literally faked testimonials, and it will have a picture that's like a stock photo and a random name that's made up.
Jesus, not me, 'cause I throw hands.
Alrighty, so let me show y'all my homework. All right, remember, Terry has seen on all these news outlets that which can be bought. Remember that all of this can be bought, pay to play. Doesn't mean they're credible necessarily. Okay, let me show y'all my homework. Okay, so we have Dr. Sherry Arnold. All right, let's right click on that real quick, search an image with Google Lens, and this takes you to this page. All right, Dr. Sherry Arnold Graham seems pretty legit. She's got a Facebook page, seems pretty legitimate, posted like 2 months ago. Not bad. All right, and it also showed her LinkedIn. So this seems like a pretty legitimate student, right? Now let's try the same thing with another one of our students. Let's try it with Thomas Few. Okay, right click, search image with Google Lens. Let's fix that real quick. Right here, baby, right here. We have Derek Williams, we have Tom Few, we have, I don't know, Bianca Coates, James Jones. Who else do we have? Tim Russell. There is no consensus image, or name, I should say, for this image. Why is that? With over 7,000 students?
But in most cases, when you have like a name and it also has like a website or what they do, typically you can kind of Google search. I know y'all have been watching Catfish for years. Catfish is on how many seasons now? Everybody should know, do the Neve process. You can reverse Google search images and you can see if it's a stock photo, if it pops up on a whole bunch of different websites, and you know most likely that's a fake testimonial. But typically if it's video testimonials, that's what I use in my business the majority of the time. And so people know that this is a real person. You can see the person, you can hear them speaking for themselves, and those testimonials tend to do better, right? So you want to make sure that just because you see a testimonial, you don't automatically assume that it, number one, is real, but that you're going to get the same results, okay? Because some people be out here faking deals. Let's jump into the fourth thing that you want to avoid when it comes to hiring a business coach. And this is going to be the coaches that have high fees without value, right? So when you notice that a coach has these absorbent, high, ridiculous price coaching fees, like $20,000, $25,000. I low-key worked for someone. If you guys watch my story time where I talked about firing a client, there was a $26,000 client for me. Why I fired them? Like, this person was actually a well-known, respected person in the coaching industry, and this person charges $25,000 for private one-on-one coaching. And I was just thinking, like, how are you charging this much for coaching when me, as someone who is working for you, I have to constantly repeat myself. I have to constantly, you ask me the same questions over and over again. I have to, like, if you can't even keep track of your own business, how are you able to keep track of what's going on in other people's business? So in my mind, I imagine that when this person is in coaching sessions, they spend the majority of their time literally asking the same questions over and over again every session, because they don't remember what they talked about in the last session. And then there was just no process for like managing the coaching relationship, right? Outlandish, and charging $25,000. I remember, like, on my last week, I was so tempted to like email this girl and be like, girl, save your money. Like, do not pay for this coaching. You will regret it. It is not worth it. But there are so many coaches just like this who have these exorbitant fees, but they don't really deliver tangible value for the fees that they are charging. So this goes back to when you are talking with a coach, you're thinking about working with someone, understanding what is their process, what is the actual value, tangible value and results that they're going to deliver for you, not just speaking in theory, or like just because they say something is worth a particular value, that is what the value is. Listen, I'm all for charging your worth, but you have to have things that back up what your worth is. That comes with skills, that comes with education, that comes with delivering results, right? You can't just wake up one day and decide you're going to charge $20,000 because you saw someone else charging $20,000, but you don't have the skills, the education, the results to deliver upon what you're charging, right? So anyways, this is actually going to take me into the fifth thing that I want to talk about for what to avoid when it comes to hiring business coaches. And this is going to be simply the lack of experience. So oftentimes you will hear a lot of coaches tell you what I call like your hero story, or like a rags to riches story of how they were a barista one day and now all of a sudden they have this 6 or 7 figure business coaching people.
I was a coffee barista for a while and then just chipping away at my YouTube channel. I didn't have a niche when I started. I just started creating a bunch of videos on various topics until one topic just kind of took off. And then I grew from 0 to 100,000 subscribers in that year. And then that's when I started offering consulting services or like one-on-one coaching. And within 3 months, I made $10K per month. The moment that I released these one-on-one services.
I'm done being a barista.
Yeah, exactly. I quit my barista job. I was like, I don't need this anymore. I'm good. When I launched my program, I made $200K. And I was like, Like, this is way more than I made in my coffee barista job.
And for me, that is always a red flag, because I'm like, how are you business coaching if you've never had a business before? Or like when I see these business coaches that are like 19 years old, and I'm like, did you start a business when you were like 6 or like a teenager? What experience do you have to be telling other people how to start a business or how to scale a business? If you are going to be a business coach, you should have demonstrated results in not only growing a business for yourself besides your business of coaching other businesses, right? What prior experience do you have? And then what demonstrated results? Where have you been able to do this for other people? Now, let's keep it moving and get into number 6 for what you want to avoid when it comes to hiring a business coach. And this is going to be a limited or lack of online presence. And so what I mean by this is I've noticed that a lot of people will say that they don't need a website in order to run a business. If you want to build your credibility, you absolutely do. So you want to have some type of online presence. Even if you build a website that's simple and it's on WordPress, even Canva, whatever, you want to have some type of online presence where you can send people to learn more about you and what you do. If someone lacks this, this would be a red flag for me. And in addition to this, even if they do have an online presence, they have social media, they have a website, if it's outdated, if there's a lot of broken links, if there's a lot of typos, those are things that I pay attention to as indicators that this person lacks professionalism. And if they haven't even taken the time to keep their website up to date to make sure that there's no typos, then this is going to be a good indicator of what that working relationship is going to be like with them. Trust me, I am preaching to myself right here. I should have took my own advice with some of the coaches that I've hired in the past. Anyways, let's keep it moving and get into the last thing that you want to consider and avoid when it comes to hiring a business coach. And this is going to be a lack of compatibility. So just a little bit of free game and a story time, quick story time. Okay, so back in, I want to say like 2017, 2018, I ended up going to a conference where Malik Till was speaking, and at this conference she said something that has always resonated with me. And so someone in the audience asked her a question about like her coaching them and like how they can work with her, and she was like, honey, like I've been out of this game for a long time. When I started my business with a blog. That was way back, I want to say like 2010 or something. She said today it's not necessary to have a blog in order to start a business or grow your business. So I wouldn't be the right person to help you with that. And that is something that a lot of coaches, I noticed, they are so eager for the sale that they will try to coach any and everybody. But when it comes to hiring a coach, you want to make sure that they are the right fit for you. And so that means someone who has recently done the things that you have done. And if they haven't done it recently, they are still have their ear to the street. They are still paying attention to industry trends, what's going on now, and they have that current insight for what's working and what's not working within that industry. Oftentimes people use a lot of outdated tactics and strategies because that is what they use and that's all that they know. But a good coach is going to be well-rounded, and they're going to be compatible for specifically what it is that you want to do. So if you are someone who wants to start an e-commerce online shop where you're selling physical products, find someone else who has started a business selling physical products. It doesn't make sense for you to have a business coach who focuses on digital products or online services if you want to offer something different, because that person isn't going to be able to help you when it comes to like inventory management, sourcing vendors and things like that. So try to find someone who has who is compatible with what it is that you want to do, and they have done it before with demonstrated results. Not only have they done it for themselves, but they have done it for other people. All right, so those are the tips that I have for you. Let me know down in the comments, what are some other tips or things to avoid when it comes to hiring a business coach? Do you know my motto, sharing is caring? So let me know down in the comments below this video. As always, thanks so much for stopping by my internet home. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on notifications so you'll be the first one to get notified anytime I upload another video like this. Bye, y'all.